Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Well, happy Memorial Day here in the United States. I'm back in Texas. Took a trip and I'm going to insert that here.
Don't listen to her, Chris. Shove it in there. Good.
Okay guys, there's wind and you're probably not going to hear this, so this is just going to be a little visual, okay? Hello, hello guys. I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I don't know if you can hear me good on this microphone, but I just want to say hi. Yesterday was my cousin's wedding and haven't been able to make too many things, but I'm in a beautiful little neighborhood. Beautiful old houses and adobe houses. Just so pretty. I don't know if you can see it. Just really, really pretty. It's been really nice to be back in New Mexico as a little girl when I first lived here. I'm just visiting. I love the red yucca. So this building is like in the 1930s. It's just, there's such a beautiful style of the Southwest. Things I miss being in Texas. But it's been a wonderful trip. The weather's absolutely beautiful. It's in the 70s, sunny, a cool breeze. I've been doing okay with the altitude and thankfully feeling really good. So I hope everyone's doing well. I know there's been some real hard news lately back home in Texas. I'll try to deal with some of that next week. This week I'm just trying to enjoy the time with family. Just want to show you guys a little bit of the architecture. It's an older house. There's another building. It's a really cool little older adobe building over here. Just neat. I mean, if you've ever had a chance to visit New Mexico, you probably should. Staying in Albuquerque, you know, they say everyone in New Mexico is like, oh my God, it's dangerous. I live in Houston, Texas, which is rivaling Chicago right now. But this house is absolutely gorgeous. All the desert flowers taken care of. They're painted. Old adobe. Just beautiful. There's a beautiful park and there's beautiful cottonwoods down there. And about 2 blocks that way is a tributary towards the Rio Grande, which in Texas ends out in Brownsville. And it's much larger, but just so nice. So technically, if you look that way, that's part of downtown. So my cousin lives in a little area that's near downtown, but not quite downtown. We had our wedding in a park. Just so gorgeous. One of those things you're just really glad that you can be present for. I'm just thankful that I can still walk. And all the family and friends that are here. It's been really beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. People are starting to come out, and I'll start this back up when we're in Old Town Albuquerque. All right, talk to you guys soon. Look at that cacti. I love it. Can you imagine what it was like here, like back in the day? Today.
You're made with anxiety.
It's too cute. If y'all are ever in Albuquerque, E.G. Enchanted Garden is an awesome little shop, flower shop and artist. The owner supports other artists. Absolutely awesome. If you can, you're here, stop by and check them out. When I was a little girl, I lived in Socorro, and all the neighbors had these on their porches.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
They are.
Be different. If you believe that, raise your sign. This time is going to be different. You can lower your sign. This time is going to be different because we are still here 4 years later and we're not going anywhere. The NRA is at its weakest point it ever has been in American history. Let me be clear. The enemy of this movement is one thing: gun violence. We need allies. To the people that are in that building that I have talked to, that I know, the gun owners that are in there that don't necessarily agree with everything the NRA says, you need to understand that you are complicit in this if you are not speaking out against them. This is a call to action, not for the Democratic or Republican agenda, but for the human agenda. This is not a political issue. And ultimately, the final note that I will leave you with is after these news cameras go away, after these marches, they translate into our elections, know that we are still here and you are not alone, but we must persist. Continue showing up, because the time when you think that nothing else matters, that you need to give up, is the time when we need to keep fighting. So show up in your state legislatures. This is where this fight starts, is these state legislatures. Make sure you vote and show up in these state legislatures, and we will absolutely abolish and end the NRA.
So, it's been just a continuous week. I flew out last Monday, and as you saw, I had a lot of fun at the wedding, and have some honorary nieces, and met some beautiful people, and just amazed at how my little cousin pulled together her little soul tribe and how beautifully everything went. It was really touching. And because of the fires, we couldn't quite go everywhere. The tram, even though I had to think about it, I'm afraid of heights. Would have been a great video, but they closed the access to the mountains and a lot of the state parks because of the fires. And actually, I don't know if I caught it, if you could see it on the video, but after we ate at Sandy's, which was a delicious place, I can tell you that green chili burger was the bomb. As we were driving, I know the fire had started and we'd seen the smoke, so not the prettiest sunset, but you know, ended up, you know, as you saw, we went and saw some ska. I mean, it was just wonderful because the Slackers, a band I really love, and watching their streams during the pandemic kind of helped keep it. When you have a live music addiction, when musicians are streaming, it's a wonderful thing. But they had been in Clear Lake, you know, in the Houston area, and it's just I was leaving, had to pack for wedding things and such. I just didn't have a chance to make the show. And the fact that they were in Albuquerque the night after the wedding was like, ah. So it was a wonderful show. I dragged someone with me, one of my honorary nieces, thankfully. She liked it. So it was wonderful, it really was. So that was wonderful. I had a choice when I heard about the Uvalde shootings. I was at my cousin's reception. Cool little place, seriously, cool little place. And saw someone's face, found out about it, and talked to a good friend, found out the number of body count, and it was just like, okay, right now I can choose to be worried. I can choose to be worried about my children, various ages, my nieces and nephews, various ages. I can, you know, attach onto the horror of the event, or I'm in the place that I'm in right now. It's time to actually be present, and I chose to be present. And I'm very happy about it. I got my chili peppers. I got the 1 footer. So apparently there's a 1 footer, there's a 2 footer, and there's a 4 footer. Living in Houston, Texas, I tried the 1 footer. If I can find a way I can preserve it, then I'll go back to get the 2 and the 4 footer too. But it was, you know, getting off the plane, getting into talks about the event and how we were going to try to support the victims, going to the NRA Protest, and going back to the protest lines over the weekend. I got heat exhausted, so I couldn't do much Saturday. Went to my class. I'm in my CEB, Cultivating Emotional Balance class. I do recommend them. They're awesome. Lessened is the monk that is teaching the course I'm in, and he is absolutely wonderful. So did that and facilitated a survivor of gun violence to speak, and that was very moving. Sometimes, being a gun violence survivor myself, you learn how to step aside and let someone else talk. Photographers were there, and the pictures are quite moving, but I hope one day we don't have to have pictures like that. I hope one day we don't have to lose 19 children and 2 teachers to senseless gun violence. I know there's 1,000 different opinions on it, and my stance is we need more common sense laws. And Texas, organizations like the NRA have supported politicians, both nationally for the U.S. senators, locally for governor and state senators. In previous times, I've been active with speaking out against laws that are dangerous. I visually saw the power of the NRA with the money they donate in behaviors of senators, state senators. So that's just, there's 1,000 different beliefs, but there's not, if one good guy will stop a bad guy with a gun. Nobody wants to take all the guns away. In the United States, guns actually, there are more guns than there are humans. There's no way to ban all the guns in the United States. What can we do? Common sense laws. You know, they, 2 Ayers, which are the Second Amendment, people that
take that and interpret that in their own way, almost to a religious basis. We need common sense laws like background checks, federally and local. I would like to see, personally, gun registration and permits. We need waiting times between purchase and receiving to allow checks to go on. We also need age limits. You know, the shooter in Uvalde was a high school student, hadn't even graduated. He turned 18 and days later bought 2 AR-15s and high-capacity magazines. Younger people I know, my son and daughter, and several of the people in their age range have said, well, we can't rent a car until we're 25. Why don't they have to wait to get rifles and handguns until they're 25? You know, I advocate for age 21 and above. It's just beyond, it's just common decency. I mean, you know, it's more guns hasn't helped us. We need laws that will be better laws that will protect us. You can't prevent every tragedy. You cannot foresee every tragedy. But you can have basic laws like extreme risk, red flag laws protection. I know in my personal life that would have made a huge difference. And that's one reason I advocate. I don't know. We've got major problems with that. And my heart goes out to everyone grieving and us survivors of the families that lost. I mean, you know, there's the 19 children. There were sets of cousins. That's going to affect those families for generations. It's going to affect the town for generations. You know, we can't keep letting this happen. You know, as I said in the video earlier that, you know, Houston is rivaling Chicago. We've actually surpassed Chicago's numbers in gun deaths and shootings because of lax laws. It's just common sense to keep our citizens safe. So that's my speech on that. Led my meditation group this evening. Thankfully, I've been able to return to base. You know, it's emotional. It's been one of those weeks. Absolute beauty and love and compassion and celebration and abject terror and tragedy. Can we just find this nice medium? Really, that would be nice, wouldn't it? So, when I got back the next day, or on that Friday before, I went to the rally against the NRA. I did my clinical visit. So for my ALS investigational drug study. So I truly believe that the medicine combination I'm on is working. You know, I've been using a cane, but, you know, I'm walking still. You know, slow progressor, but I think my ALS FR score is pretty much the same. I think that this medicine is actually working. So I'll continue the trial to help, you know, be the bunny to help see if it works. It's kind of funny between getting the blood drawn and then going to the rally and getting heat exhausted, you know, sunburned. It's like, okay, so bruised and sunburned. I'm trying to help a lot of people. But I'm glad I took the Saturday out, and Sunday I connected with a lot of good people and witnessed a mother's grief. And, you know, so much of this is due to the laws that were changed in Texas back in last year. So it's, if you connect the dots, you know, hopefully profound change does happen. You know, we need to change current government that doesn't support that. Small steps. And no one wants to take your gun away. We just want safer laws. So I know this could be a controversial video because I've talked all about all of this, but know that I believe every life counts. My life counts, your life counts, every life counts. And we can act in compassion. Kindness begets kindness when you have ugly things like that happen. You can't bring kids to life. You can't reduce, prevent or change anything that's already happened. But you can change the way you react to it. You can change your life in ways that will bring more kindness, more beauty, reaching out to neighbors. We need each other. We're all in this together. So that is my story. That is my week. There is the parts of life that aren't nice, but you have to focus on the beauty in each day. You have to find the compassion for yourself, forgiveness for yourself, self-compassion, and also for others. Oh, one other thing. Choose Namaste is a group that I'm a part of with a close friend. If you look on Facebook, or you can even look online, look for choose semicolon joy. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I lied. Mission semicolon joy. I say choose joy, but the movie of the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. This Thursday, June 2nd, they'll be running it for free for 48 hours, and it's a beautiful movie. So that is Mission semicolon joy. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and take care. Remember to find the beauty.